Hello, everyone. Father Mark and myself here just to share a few things with you regarding masks. My name is Mark Nelson, and I'm a part of the servant leadership team and the director of evangelization. And I think if you're watching this video, there's a great chance you already know Father Mark. So we just wanted to share with you something that's coming up, and I'll let Father Mark kind of kick it off that way.
Yeah, so some of you, or maybe many of you, maybe you already know that we recently did a survey, a parish survey, and I think we had roughly, about 500 people respond to that. And there was a series of questions we were asking about, but one of the ones that we want to focus on today is the one regarding the wearing of a mask. If you think it should be required or if you think it should be optional, which one would you be more comfortable with? And we had just under 500 responses, and it was pretty well what we thought it might be, and that would be it was split between those who feel it should be optional and those who should feel it should be required. And so that's the reason we're here today on this video, is just to announce to you we're going to be opening up the 11 a.m. Mass on Sundays as a Mass where masks will be optional for those who feel comfortable to come to that Mass. Mark, I don't know if there's...
Yeah, and I think we also hoped to explain to you why that decision, how we came to that decision, because it was not easy. There was a lot of debate. If I'm honest, a month ago I was on the side that said absolutely not, Mass should be required always within the church, and I personally have come to more of a middle ground after listening to a number of people. So do you want to share a little more on that? Do you want me to share what I was thinking?
Yeah, I think just Mark and I were just talking about this earlier, that it's been about 6 weeks now that we've been into the reopening of our parish. Now, there were several parishes in the Omaha area and in the rural areas as well that have been open longer than that, maybe the first week in May. And many, if not most of those parishes, their policy was to wear a mask was optional. There are a few that required it. We were one of those few parishes in the Omaha area that we required the wearing of masks, but most of those parishes, it's been optional. And one of the reasons we wanted to require it in the beginning, we just wanted to wait and see how things worked out with those parishes, if there were going to be any serious outbreaks of COVID-19, since it was optional or not. And 6 to 8 weeks into this, we're not hearing anything like that from these other parishes. So we just felt that it might be a good time to at least try one Mass out where we had the option of wearing a mask, and just try that out for a while and just see how it goes. And so that's kind of how we came to this decision.
Yeah, and I think we legitimately understand from speaking with many of you, clearly not all of you, although we had the survey responses, the approximately 481 survey responses as of a half an hour ago. But we understand that many of you feel very strongly on one side or the other, and there are also many who are in the middle and could go either way. Those who say Mass should always be required, and here's why. Those who say, why are we requiring masks? I started attending another church because it's difficult for me to worship God when my face is covered in a mask. I don't feel like myself. And there's justifications for both positions. And there's, of course, a lot of you, probably the majority. I think by the survey results, it'd be safe to say that there's probably a majority who could really go either way in their understanding of both those opinions. So that's basically how we came to the conclusion that we at least wanted to try one Mass, in this case the 11 o'clock Sunday Mass, that would be mask optional. And the others, will still be required, as well as daily Masses. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, Father Mark, but as I understand it, each organization within the church, some have already restarted some of their gatherings, some are waiting. And that will be up to the leadership of those organizations. We're still asking that you follow CDC guidelines, that you maintain some social distance, that people, of course, can wear masks, and the leadership could potentially require that of their people. For example, say the Knights of Columbus wanted all their meetings to be mask required, and I don't even know what their discussions are, their decisions are, but any organization would have that. The leadership would have the ability to go either way on the mask optional or mask required question.
Yeah, one thing, now when we give out Holy Communion, one thing I did want to say as far as the priests and the deacons and the Eucharist administrators, that everything else will remain the same in that particular Mass. We're still going to come up to you for Holy Communion. We'll still have social distancing, but we will wear a mask when we come. Since we're going to be in close proximity to each of you, we will wear a mask when we come up to you for Holy Communion. So that will remain the same. I don't know if there's anything else, Mark, that we're missing that we need to talk about, or?
I think we covered it, yeah.
Okay, so we'll give this a try, and this will be the weekend of August 2nd. Will be our first weekend where we'll open up the 11 a.m. Mass for those who want to have the option of wearing a mask or not. And like I said, we'll just see how that goes, and we'll go from there. I appreciate you tuning in and listening, and not sure if you got anything, or is that?
We love you.
Yeah, thanks too also for your cooperation in these last 6 to 8 weeks. I know it hasn't been easy for you or for any of us with all these restrictions, but just want to thank you for your sacrifices and your yes, and your willingness just to cooperate with all these new guidelines that have been placed upon us. So we thank you, and God bless you.